The waters of Southeast Asia are more contested than ever, with increasing naval activity and strategic maneuvers becoming a common sight. The South China Sea, a vital maritime corridor, is now at the center of global attention, drawing interest from major world powers. Overlapping claims, especially between the Philippines and China, have escalated tensions, leading to frequent standoffs and diplomatic challenges. China's construction of artificial islands and military outposts has forced smaller nations to rethink their defense strategies as these developments alter the region's security dynamics. For the Philippines, these aren't distant issues. They're daily threats to national security and livelihoods. Filipino fishermen face harassment from larger vessels, and the Coast Guard struggles to patrol vast, resource-rich waters with limited assets, making their task increasingly challenging. The pressure to protect the exclusive economic zone, vital for food and energy, is immense, as these waters are crucial for the nation's sustenance. This has triggered a regional push for military modernization, with countries upgrading navies and air forces to deter aggression and ensure stability. The Philippines is part of this trend, but budget constraints and the scale of the challenge slow progress, making modernization a daunting task. International partnerships are now crucial as collaboration becomes key to addressing shared security concerns. The US remains a treaty ally, providing support and conducting joint exercises to enhance regional security, but Japan has emerged as a key partner, recognizing the need for a stable, rules-based maritime order and actively participating in regional security efforts. Japan's support is a direct response to the shifting strategic landscape, reflecting its commitment to peace and stability. This cooperation signals that regional security is a shared responsibility, requiring collective action and mutual trust. The Philippines' modernization is no longer optional, it's urgent, as the nation seeks to bolster its defense capabilities. As threats grow, alliances and credible deterrence are the only way forward, ensuring a united front against potential aggressors. The region's future depends on nations working together to uphold sovereignty and peace, fostering a secure environment for all. The Philippines and Japan are now at the forefront of this effort, leading initiatives to maintain regional stability and security. Japan has announced a landmark transfer of military assets to the Philippines, marking a significant turning point in the security landscape of Southeast Asia. This move cements a new and robust security partnership between the two nations, reflecting growing trust and shared strategic interests. The aid package includes decommissioned Hatsuyuki-class destroyers, which have served Japan for decades and will now bolster the Philippine fleet. It also features advanced P-3C Orion patrol aircraft, enhancing the Philippines' maritime surveillance and reconnaissance capabilities. All these assets are scheduled to be delivered by 2027, following a carefully coordinated transfer process. This isn't just a simple sale. It's a strategic move designed to boost Philippine defense in a region facing increasing tensions and security challenges. Japan's shift from post-war pacifism to a more proactive security role is now on full display, signaling a new era in its foreign policy. The transfer requires careful preparation, including refurbishing ships, training Filipino crews to operate new systems, and finalizing complex legal frameworks to ensure smooth cooperation. For the Philippines, these assets represent a leap in capability, providing new tools to protect its maritime interests and sovereignty. It also marks a deepening alliance with Japan, built on mutual respect and shared security goals. The partnership now extends well beyond economic aid, evolving into genuine security cooperation and joint defense initiatives. Japan's investment in Philippine defense sends a clear message to the region. Freedom of navigation and the rule of law are priorities that must be upheld. This move sets the stage for even closer ties and greater collaboration as regional challenges continue to persist and evolve. The Philippines-Japan alliance is now entering a new era, one defined by shared security, mutual support, and a commitment to regional stability. The Hatsuyuki-class destroyers and P-3C Orion aircraft, though Cold War era, are game changers for the Philippines. Hatsuyuki destroyers, once the backbone of Japan's navy, bring anti-submarine warfare, missiles and advanced sensors. The P-3C Orion, a legendary patrol aircraft, offers long-range surveillance and submarine detection. These platforms, while no longer cutting-edge in Japan, are a major upgrade for the Philippine fleet. The destroyer's size and firepower far exceed current Philippine Navy ships. The P-3C's endurance and sensors will transform maritime patrols, enabling persistent monitoring of vast waters. These assets fill critical gaps in defense, law enforcement and disaster response. For the Philippines, this is a leap into modern maritime security. Some may question the value of older military hardware, but for the Philippines, these platforms are exactly what's needed. In a region where maritime security is a constant concern, having reliable ships in the water is more important than simply having the latest technology. The goal isn't to match superpowers, but to build a credible, sustainable defense that can respond to real-world threats and protect national interests. Hatsuyuki destroyers and P-3C Orions provide real deterrence, projecting power and extending surveillance. Their presence alone signals readiness and commitment to defend territorial waters. New equipment is prohibitively expensive. These transfers are cost-effective and free up resources for training and maintenance. This means more funds can be allocated to keeping ships operational and crews well prepared. Proven, reliable systems like these reduce risk and ease integration. Crews can quickly adapt, and maintenance teams already know the ins and outs of these platforms. The Philippine military can leverage established maintenance procedures and global supply chains, ensuring spare parts and technical support are always within reach. This approach accelerates modernization without overwhelming budgets or logistics, allowing the Navy to grow steadily and responsibly. Minimum credible defense is about making aggression costly, not impossible. Even older ships can complicate an adversary's plans and force them to think twice. These assets are a smart, pragmatic step forward, strengthening alliances and building operational experience. For a developing military, mature hardware is often the best foundation. It provides a platform for learning, growth and future upgrades. The Japanese transfer is a strategic, fiscally sound move that deepens defense ties and mutual trust. It's about capability, not just technology. In the end, what matters most is readiness and the ability to respond when it counts. The Japanese transfer directly addresses the Philippines' most urgent defense gaps. The Navy, long limited to coastal patrols, gains true blue water capability with the Hatsuyuki destroyers. Anti-submarine warfare, once a glaring weakness, is now within reach. The P-3C Orion gives the Air Force persistent surveillance over the vast exclusive economic zone. These platforms also enhance search and rescue, disaster response and law enforcement. The new assets fundamentally change the strategic calculus for any adversary. They strengthen national resilience and the government's ability to protect its people. This is more than a military upgrade, it's a boost to national security and sovereignty. The arrival of these platforms is transformative for the Philippine military. Operating destroyers and advanced aircraft demands new training, doctrine, and joint operations. The Navy and Air Force will be forced to integrate, elevating professionalism and effectiveness. These capabilities enable the Philippines to join regional exercises and contribute to collective security. The result, a more cohesive, modern and confident armed force. The sight of Philippine destroyers and Orions patrolling contested waters will symbolize national resolve. This transformation inspires pride and reassures citizens that their nation can defend itself. It's a new era for Philippine defense. Japan's military aid is driven by strategic interests, not charity. Facing its own disputes with China, Japan seeks to balance regional power and secure vital sea lanes. Strengthening the Philippines helps uphold international law and counters unilateral actions. Supporting partners like Manila is a cost-effective way for Japan to protect its own interests. This move also advances Japan's shift towards a more active security role, aligning with US expectations. Defense aid opens doors for future cooperation and defense sales. It boosts Japan's diplomatic influence and supports its defense industry. The decision is a win-win. Strategic, diplomatic, and economic interests all align. Japan's support for the Philippines is a calculated investment in regional stability. The transfer isn't without challenges. Operating and maintaining older warships and aircraft is costly and requires skilled personnel. The Philippines must invest in training crews, pilots, and technicians for these complex systems. Japan will help initially, but sustainable programs are essential. Legal and bureaucratic hurdles must be cleared, with both governments finalizing agreements and processes. Integration is another challenge. New assets need compatible infrastructure and communications. Deep ports, longer runways, and specialized facilities are required. Careful planning and sustained investment are crucial for success. Overcoming these hurdles is as important as receiving the hardware. The real test will be long-term commitment and effective integration. This transfer is more than hardware. It's a statement about the future of Indo-Pacific security. The Philippines and Japan are building a model for regional cooperation and credible deterrence. For Manila, it's a leap in capability and a sign of commitment to sovereignty. For the region, it's the strengthening of a network of like-minded partners. This isn't about confrontation, but about building flexible coalitions for shared challenges. The partnership signals that unilateral actions will face collective resistance. As Japan steps up, the region's security architecture becomes more resilient. The Hatsuyuki destroyers and P-3C Orions, once Cold War icons, are now tools for peace and stability. Their presence marks a new chapter for the Philippines and the Indo-Pacific. Together, these nations are investing in a secure, prosperous future.